Hey everyone, welcome back to our weekly update, week 16. We are currently on Halloween Day, so I'm dressed up as The Rock. I don't have the fanny pack yet, it's somewhere around here, but it's there. Um, so a little Halloween special for you guys today. So we'll be talking about the Bank of Canada holds from last week and just touch on some buyer sentiment for the current market as we see it, and we will just kind of get into our numbers of our downtown surrounding areas, Don Mills, Leaside, Mount Pleasant, Yonge and Eglinton, and Durham areas. So we'll keep this pretty short and sweet, as we will be having the market update next week with the market stats for month over month and see how we did in October compared to September and compared to the year before. So let's just get into it with we wouldn't say necessarily good news. I mentioned it as good news last week in a post, but it's overall, I think, just news and not bad news in the sense that we did not get a rate hike from the Bank of Canada. And this is so many contributing factors with what's going on in the world. Inflation rates that were down compared to what they were expecting, as we mentioned in the previous week. So that was something that was really good. And then obviously with things just going on in the world, I don't know what we will expect. I believe the next announcement is December 6th. So we will see what happens there. But I think we will continue to see some struggling just because people's mortgages will be coming up and going from 2% to 5-6% is a huge jump. So we will continue to see, especially I believe, investors starting to just list their place because they just can't hold on to it. And as I mentioned before last week, we just are seeing a lot more investors trying to sell off their properties, especially in the downtown core for condos. We're not seeing as much in freehold overall, just because what we notice, especially in vacant properties, you may think, oh, those are all investors, but those could be people that are estate sale or just have sold or have bought already and moved in. So they're not necessarily all investors. So we'll keep an eye on that of what will come with the Bank of Canada. Hopefully they do hold again, and we do continue to get some good signs. There's just going to be, as again, just a lot of uncertainty in the air, and that is something that we have been dealing with for the last few years. It's been a roller coaster ride, that's for sure. And just hopefully everybody can stick it out, especially for over the holidays, and then I do believe we will have a more positive 2024. Crazy to say that, I'm still in the 2000s, which is 20 years ago. Time is flying, for sure. So, and then we'll touch base next week again too with the market update from TREB, which comes out every month, and see how those stats compare to the stats that we've been giving you for our weekly updates. And just hopefully we are kind of a little bit ahead of what the numbers you may see each month. And we'll talk a little bit about the buyers, what they may be feeling in a second, but we'll just get to the stats first, just so it's to see what's going on. The downtown surrounding areas for freehold, active listings have picked up a little bit from the previous weeks, but they've gone down this week, so it's interesting to see that kind of number. I don't think that will continue. We've kind of just seen a little bit of a slow and then a bump and then a slow and then a bump. It could be contributing to the announcement from Bank of Canada last week. So it may have just had a few people just holding off until they made the announcement. So maybe next week's numbers will pick up a little bit, which is what I do believe. We are continuing to see some pretty active scenarios for the solds. There are still buyers out there. We've gone up from 54 solds the previous week to 60 this week. So there are people still out there. There are still showings on our properties that we have listed as well, and we're hearing that people are still getting showings and open houses are relatively busy. It's just that buyers are just taking their time, which is what they should be doing, especially if you have this opportunity. Because if you do need to get into the market, then we want to make sure that you are feeling good about what will happen with your investment at the end of the day, and if you can hold on to it properly, afford everything properly. And that's why we always say to make sure you talk to a mortgage broker, just to go through all those numbers and to make sure you feel comfortable. Because at the end of the day, when you are buying now, you're going at a higher stress test rate than what previous buyers are going through, right? So those are it's going to be pretty tough. And do you try and buy now before it possibly goes up again? Because if it goes up again, will you actually be able to afford that mortgage, to be able to get that kind of funding? So things to think about. We'll jump back into the condo market. Again, pretty flat for the active listings, which is interesting to see. Only 2 more compared to the week before, and we're seeing 60 sold, so which is pretty flat too. Again, still buyers out there. I do believe buyers have a little bit more opportunities in the condo market to take even a little bit more time. But yeah, just to give you an idea, things are still moving. And I do think we will continue to see an uptick again in active listings for condos, just as mortgage renewals come up, and we're going to see that. But I do think maybe a few people were kind of holding off with what the Bank of Canada was going to make. So it was a good news in the sense that they didn't raise it. So I do think we will see an uptick in this week coming up. So for the Don Mills area, we saw 10 more active listings. This is a slower area in general, so we'll continue, I think, to see some listings come up, but they are relatively slower. I think a lot of people in the Don Mills area, especially for the freehold side, if they don't need to sell, then they won't be. So a lot of these listings that may be coming up are either estate sales, or someone has just bought and moved out of the area or moved to a condo. And there's a lot of people that try to stay in the Don Mills area if they do need to get a condo, if they can't do the stairs anymore, and etc. So I do think we won't see as much active listings on the rise for the Don Mills area, but again, it depends on the circumstances. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Active listings for the condo side, pretty flat overall, and the solds are pretty flat overall for both freehold and condos. So let's go to the Leaside, Davisville, Mount Pleasant, and Yonge and Eglinton area. Again, super flat on the active listings for both freehold and condos, and we're seeing 10 sold firms for both condo and freehold, up from 6 freehold and up from 5 for condos. So again, seeing some more action on the buy side, but again, especially for condos, it could be finance status, and then for freehold, we have a home inspection and finance. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer for these to firm up, which is what we should probably continue to see, just because buyers do have that more of an opportunity. And then the Durham area, again, pretty flat overall for the active listings and for the sold firms. So, and price-wise, we are seeing everything be pretty flat, nothing fluctuating crazy. So overall, week over week, we're seeing it be pretty flat. We have seen, so for the buyers, we've seen them to have the opportunity to take a little bit more time, especially that the rates didn't go up this time. So I do think we'll see a few more active listings come out in the next week or two. And then again, we'll touch base on with the TREB numbers to see what our numbers compared to month over month for October, because it has been a little bit slower overall. September was slower than August, which is rare, and so I think we're kind of seeing that kind of trend a little bit in October. But again, the last week has been decent for. The last couple of weeks have been pretty decent for sold firms. So I think we are seeing a little bit of confidence in the sense that if you do need to buy, this might be the time, because especially if Bank of Canada holds the rates in December, I would hope that would be the last straw, and they'll kind of wait it out for a while in 2024, and hopefully we will see a drop in the rates. And then when that happens, then things will go a little crazy. And sorry for tapping the microphone there. I should have put it back in the beard. Did you like that? You guys let me know. Should I put the mic back in the beard or keep it somewhere in there? And from the Rock, let me get a little Rock's eyebrow there. Gotta try and try and do it all up. So yeah, these are some interesting numbers to see. So we'll touch base next week again, and I will continue to let you know about these certain areas. And if you are looking for a different area that we have not mentioned, please let me know, and I can kind of go break these numbers down for you, because we want to make sure that you buyers and you sellers feel comfortable with what you're trying to do. If you do need to sell, why? Let's figure it out, and let's see if now is the best time, or if we can wait. And if you're a buyer, why do you need to buy? Do you need to buy now? Are you buying and selling? Is that the reason, or is it an estate sale, or are you a first-time home buyer? And are you worried about where the rates are going to go, up or down, or hold? So we're here for all those kind of questions. And please, I just got to start doing this at the beginning, like other YouTube guys. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a like if you like it. And yeah, just as always, appreciate you guys, and hope you have a great Halloween. Try not to eat all the candies before the kids come. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.